Russia unleashes large-scale attacks on Kyiv after Trump-Putin phone call.
During the night of July 3rd and early hours of July 4th, Ukraine's capital, Kyiv, became the focal point of a massive drone and missile assault, leaving at least 14 people injured and multiple buildings damaged. This marked one of the most intense attacks the city has faced in recent weeks. According to Reuters, a series of powerful explosions rocked Kyiv from the night of July 3rd into the early morning of July 4th as Russian forces launched a large-scale strike using drones and ballistic missiles against Ukraine's capital. Local authorities reported at least 14 people were injured, with 12 requiring hospitalization. The drones and missiles targeted at least 13 locations across Kyiv, sparking numerous fires in districts such as Sviatoshinsky, Solomansky, Obolon, Dniprovsky, Shevchenkivsky, and Holosivsky. Videos circulating on social media showed many residents spending the night in subway stations to avoid debris and potential follow-up attacks. In Sviatoshinsky district, western Kyiv, drone debris ignited a warehouse and the courtyard of a residential building. In neighboring Solomyansky, explosions set fire to an administrative building, garages, and several unoccupied structures. An 8-story building in Shevchenkivsky district saw its first floor engulfed in flames, while a nearby business also caught fire. A medical facility in Holosivsky district sustained damage from the strikes. Tyumur Tkachenko, head of Kyiv's military administration, said the air quality in many parts of the city had been severely compromised by smoke and fires, urging residents to keep their windows closed to protect their health. Kyiv Mayor Vitaly Klitschko also confirmed that multiple structures were damaged by drones crashing down after being shot by air defenses, including areas near a school and residential buildings in the Dniprovsky district. Beyond Kyiv, the central Ukrainian city of Poltava in Poltava province also came under drone attack, damaging a vehicle and injuring 2 people, according to regional governor Volodymyr Kohut. This large-scale assault came just hours after a phone call between Russian President Vladimir Putin and US President Donald Trump. According to Reuters, Trump urged an end to the conflict as soon as possible and pressed Russia to agree to a swift ceasefire. However, Putin responded that Moscow would continue to pursue its objectives in Ukraine, while emphasizing that Russia remains open to political dialogue but would not abandon its strategic interests and the root causes of the conflict. Referring to Ukraine's ties with NATO, Kyiv now faces the looming threat of running out of air defense capabilities, as the US recently announced a temporary halt to the transfer of Patriot missile systems and other critical weapons in order to prioritize America's own defense reserves. Officials in Kyiv have warned that Russia's repeated strikes are aimed at wearing down Ukraine's defensive systems. Moscow has not commented on Ukraine's statements. Russia has long insisted that it only targets military objectives and does not intentionally strike civilian infrastructure.
Mr. Zelensky prepares for phone call with Mr. Trump.
Officials in Kyiv were not given advance notice of Washington's decision to halt weapons supplies and are now working to arrange a phone call between Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and US President Donald Trump to clarify the situation. Speaking on July 3, Zelensky confirmed plans for a call with Trump and said Ukraine was relying on continued support from the United States. "I hope that tomorrow or in the coming days I will be able to speak with President Trump," Zelensky said. When asked about the US decision to suspend weapons deliveries, Zelensky responded, "We are counting on continued support from the US, and there are certain systems that Europe simply doesn't have. This is very important," he added. According to The Guardian, Zelensky was referring to missiles for the Patriot air defense systems. Commenting on the July 3 call between Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin, Zelensky remarked that the two leaders don't have many common topics to discuss. On July 3rd, the Kyiv Post, citing Ukrainian and European officials, reported that a phone call between President Zelensky and President Trump was being urgently arranged. The planned call aims to address the issue of Washington's sudden halt in weapons deliveries to Ukraine. According to the Financial Times on July 3rd, the conversation between the two leaders could take place as early as July 4th. Reuters reported that the US has stopped sending air defense missiles, guided bombs, and artillery shells, including interceptors for the Patriot systems, weapons that Ukraine desperately needs as Russian forces ramp up their attacks.